As Breast Cancer Awareness Month comes to a close, Arkansas Senator John Boozman authored the Service Act to require the VA to conduct mammograms for women who served. He joins us now to talk a little bit about that. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Well, thank you for having me. Yes. I authored it along with Senator Wyden. Okay. Republicans and Democrats working together on this. We hear about all the stuff that's going on in Washington, but there's a lot of good things, particularly regarding veterans, that we work together on.
And I love hearing about veterans. My dad is a veteran, so I love hearing about great things about veterans. So why did you want to author this?
Well, what we found is that women that served in particular areas in the Middle East around burn pits in particular have a much higher incidence of breast cancer. And they're acquiring it much earlier than you normally would. Okay. So what we're saying is, you know, VA, do a better job of making sure that you're communicating to these women that served in these areas or are serving that they do have an higher incidence, and then also make sure that you lower your thresholds, your standards, encourage them to start getting testing much earlier so that we can identify it and then get it treated. Okay,
and so this is mainly just for the women then who served in those areas, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yes, these are the ones that seem to have the significant increase.
Yeah. So how often does your office hear about concerns from some of these women?
You know, these are things that bubble up that you hear directly as you're home and about. We had a young woman testify, a Marine that was 25, served in these areas, developed breast cancer at 38. Normally, you know, they encourage you to start screening at 50 years old or so. So it just shows that these things we have to address. The good news is the VA is willing to do it, but we have to give them authorization many times to go forward with some of these programs as they change. Another area that we're working on, we introduced a bill called the Mammo Bill. Okay. And again, this is myself, Republicans, Democrats working together, and we basically said, look, VA, you've got good equipment in regard to detection. We want you to have the very best. And so this will be updating the VA's equipment, making sure that they've got the very best equipment so that as they do these screenings, that we can be assured that our women veterans are getting the very best care, the very best detection possible.
So do these women, do they need to just reach out to the VA if they would like to get a screening?
Yes.
Okay, that's how that works. Okay.
Very much.
Perfect.
And hopefully they'll be reaching out to them. But your viewers, you know, certainly if you know somebody in that situation or if you are one, you should go ahead and move in that direction. Okay,
well, and real quick, while I do have you here, we mentioned everything going on in Congress. A lot's going on with the infrastructure bill right now. What are your thoughts on, you know, the status of it?
I don't have any idea right now. You know, President Biden's working with the Democrats trying to see if they can get something figured out. I'm concerned about some of the policies in there and the pay-fors. You know, this idea of you know, if you've got $10,000 in your checking account, that, you know, the IRS is going to start accessing that information. Those are things that I think Americans are very concerned about.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. All right. Let's